Hello, and welcome to Max Verstappen Inside, the channel dedicated to all things Max Verstappen. Today, we're going to take a look at how Max Verstappen became a racing prodigy. Last week, Red Bull's formidable performance in testing set the stage for Max Verstappen's highly anticipated 2023 Formula 1 season. With no one able to match his intensity on the track, Verstappen is poised to dominate and potentially secure his third consecutive championship title. As we witness the rise of the Verstappen era, we'll explore how this 25-year-old sensation has captivated the hearts of millions of orange-clad Dutch fans, and why his extraordinary skills have only just begun to unfold. However, before we begin our video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. It's no surprise that the car a driver has played a major role in their success. But when Verstappen dominated last year's championship, winning an incredible 15 races compared to his teammate Sergio Perez's 2, it became obvious that there's more to his victories than just great engineering. Join us as we dive deeper into what makes Verstappen unbelievably quick on the track, going beyond just the stats. An extremely rare natural talent, Verstappen has always been a natural talent behind the wheel. He was a sensation on the European go-karting circuit before making the jump to Formula 3 in 2014. Red Bull saw his potential and quickly promoted him to F1 the next year. At just 17, he became the youngest driver ever in the sport, even without a regular driver's license. F1 was initially worried about Verstappen's readiness, prompting the FIA to set a minimum age limit of 18 the following year. But Verstappen's incredible car control and poise quickly showed everyone that he was born to race at the highest level. Max Verstappen is one of the most talented drivers I've ever worked with, says Franz Tost, Verstappen's first F1 team boss at Toro Rosso, now AlphaTauri. He only compares Max to Sebastian Vettel, Red Bull's first rising star who secured 4 world championships between 2010 and 2013. Tost first spotted Verstappen's incredible skills in go-karting, while Red Bull was keeping an eye on his progress. Some of those kart races, wow, Tost recalls. The way he drove, his overtaking moves and his complete control were just amazing. Dost worked with Verstappen for about 18 months, during which Max made history as F1's youngest point scorer in just his second race. He achieved impressive 4th place finishes in Hungary and the US, a remarkable feat for a smaller team. Early in his second F1 season, Verstappen was surprisingly promoted to Red Bull's senior team, replacing the struggling Daniel Kvyat. Mid-season driver changes are rare. In his Red Bull debut at the Spanish Grand Prix, he faced off against Vettel, Raikkonen and Ricciardo, a trio with 5 world titles and countless race starts. Verstappen emerged as F1's youngest race winner at 18, setting a record that may never be broken. Verstappen's incredible instincts are at the heart of his success. Bold overtaking maneuvers, flawless pole position laps, and recovering from near crashes, like his iconic save in Brazil in 2016, seem to come effortlessly to him. Gianpiero Lambiase, Verstappen's longtime race engineer, believes that this instinctive ability is what makes Max stand out. Lambiase is responsible for guiding Verstappen during races, and his voice is the one you hear over the radio, providing updates on the car and race strategy. Lambiase told The Athletic, Max possesses an extremely rare natural talent, an innate connection between himself, the car, and the road that few others can match. This incredible connection has propelled Verstappen to the forefront of Formula 1, leaving fans in awe of his racing prowess, a unique driving style. Verstappen's unique connection to his car sets him apart from other drivers. Every racer works with their engineers to tune their vehicle, balancing aggressive cornering with stability to prevent spinning out. What makes Verstappen special is his exceptional skill in handling a loose rear end, allowing him to feel when the car is at its limit before regaining control. Teammate Perez highlighted this when discussing Verstappen's driving style in Bahrain. We both want a good front end. It's just a question of how stable the rear end can be. Max has been able to cope with a looser rear end. This extraordinary talent lets Verstappen push the boundaries and leave his competitors in the dust. Perez isn't the first Red Bull driver to find it challenging to match Verstappen's performance. Alex Albon raced alongside Max for a season and a half, but struggled to keep up, ultimately being replaced by Perez. "Everything looks natural for him when he's driving," Albon observed. "It's a very clean driving style, but I know he's on the limit." Interestingly, Verstappen himself considers his driving style to be natural. He explains, "I never experienced a fast car with understeer, turning less sharply than desired. In my life, in any category, if people ask me about my driving style, I can't tell you because I always adapt to what I get in the best way possible." This innate adaptability is a major factor in Verstappen's remarkable success on the racetrack. Unwavering consistency. It's challenging to recall a race where Verstappen didn't push himself to the max and extract every ounce of performance from his car. In 2022, he won an incredible 15 out of 22 races. The 7 races he didn't win were all due to circumstances beyond his control. In Bahrain, he retired due to a fuel pump issue while fighting for the lead. In Australia, another fuel pump issue forced him to retire when he was set to finish second. At the Monaco GP, a red flag ruined his shot at pole in qualifying, and he finished third on a track notorious for being difficult to overtake. In the British GP, debris damaged his car's floor, and he finished 7th. Tyre degradation prevented him from fighting for the win at the Austrian GP, where he finished 2nd. In Singapore, a team mistake in qualifying left him starting 8th, and the circuit's challenging layout made overtaking difficult. Finally, a collision with Hamilton at the Brazilian GP forced an additional pit stop, and he finished 6th. None of these results can be attributed to Verstappen underperforming. The only factor that has affected his performance in recent years has been his tendency to make aggressive moves when battling Hamilton, as seen in Italy and Saudi Arabia in 2021. Verstappen's teammate Perez admires his complete and mistake-free driving style. "He's just very complete," Perez explains to The Athletic. "He's able to be at the limit for a very long time during a weekend." Max's ability to squeeze every last drop of performance from his car has been evident since his early phone days at Toro Rosso, where consistent points finishes were the goal. Verstappen's driving was an essential gauge for the car's true potential, pushing it to the max every time. "These drivers always find a way to bring the car to the best possible success," says Tost. "Max was always there, among the first 6, 7 or 8 cars. They get the most out of the car, showing its real potential. When they're there, you know, okay, this is the potential, and more is not possible." Verstappen's incredible driving skills always reveal the maximum potential of his car, making him a fierce competitor on the racetrack. Mental capacity. Formula One drivers do more than just drive. They must navigate a multitude of buttons, switches, and dials on their steering wheels to adjust everything from engine modes to brake bias while hurtling down the track at up to 220 mph. They must also think about tyre wear, weather, strategy, and rival drivers, requiring a big mental capacity. Verstappen's ability to handle all of this has been evident from the start. Jody Egginton, former head of vehicle performance at Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri, noticed Verstappen's talent for providing precise feedback about the car's handling, even if he didn't yet understand the underlying mechanics. "That's been a good trait with Max and other young drivers," Egginton said. "To be able to highlight something, even if it's just a comment whilst driving, that's a big standout. Such feedback is essential for unlocking a car's full potential." Teams use practice sessions to get the car in a rough setup window, adjusting the settings to suit the driver's preferences. However, it's up to the driver to collaborate with the team to fine-tune every small element that can make a difference. Even a tiny tweak worth half a tenth of a second could be the key to securing pole position instead of finishing in 4th place. Total dedication. Elite sportspeople, like phone drivers, must be fully committed to their craft if they want to succeed. Toast, who has worked with many drivers, cites Verstappen and Vettel as 2 who stand out in terms of their passion for the sport. "It's their passion. They live for Formula One," he says. "That's very, very important. People underestimate it. They want to know everything. They live for it." Verstappen's father, Jos Verstappen, who raced in F1 in the 1990s and 2000s, instilled this same passion in his son at a young age. The father-son duo dominated the European go-kart scene, always with an eye on reaching F1. Despite being in the spotlight since his mid-teens, Verstappen has remained grounded and focused on his driving without getting caught up in any off-track controversies. To him, becoming a better driver has always been his primary goal. When Max Verstappen isn't racing or training for a Grand Prix, he's likely to be sim racing. He has a high-tech rig at home that he uses to compete digitally against some of the best sim racers in the world. While it may not replicate the physical sensations of driving an F1 car, sim racing helps hone skills such as car control and setup. Verstappen is so dedicated to sim racing that he plans to install a simulator in a new motorhome he'll use to travel to races in Europe. That way, I just can keep on driving when I'm back in the evening, he says. I like it, it's my hobby in a way, and it just keeps you sharp as well. Even after a full day in a real F1 car, Verstappen is still thinking about driving a virtual one and trying to win. His love for racing goes beyond the physical realm and into the digital world, where he can continue to push himself to be the best. So there you have it. That's how Max Verstappen became a racing prodigy. From karting champion to Formula One superstar, Max's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Max Verstappen Inside for more videos about Max and Formula One.